Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of Red Dirt and Stardust, a sci-fi cowboy and pirate Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition podcast. Where last we left the party, you all had just entered the secret emerald mine owned by Tusky the Walrus Man. That was part of his smuggling operation and met a character from Chauncey's long ago past, Hortensia the Gorgon. She helped you harness the elemental energy of the salamander heart to create a few magical items that you all could use on your journey. You then boarded the Shell Drake and met the crew of said boat that would be taking you to Creator's Hollow and then off into the vortex. When you all were resting on the Shell Drake, as it was too dangerous to simply send you back home, Chauncey and Jed ended up having a very enlightening conversation about the directions that their lives had moved and their intentions with Drake's Ridge itself. And we're going to begin in some nebulous time before the boat leaves and after that conversation ended. So if there's anything else that anyone would like to do before we start preparing the boat to leave, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Chauncey's borrowing Hortensia's forge to make a few things before we eat away from here.
All
So
right.
he needs a minute away from everybody. Don't
Very
think about
true. Yeah. Are you going to be doing this like immediately after the conversation with Jed, or are you going to be having a little bit of a rest and waking up in the morning and doing this?
Oh no, Chauncey's doing this that night. He needs to hit something pretty much. So he's gonna go
Ah,
make some stuff. It's fun.
yeah. You definitely find Hortensia kind of sleeping in a room near her sort of work area. And she is wearing like a long nightgown, and she very clearly, it's one of those nightgowns that would have one of those long cone hats, but because she has snakes for hair, it doesn't fit, so she doesn't wear it. And she just comes to the door rubbing her eyes and just, oh, what do you want? It's too early.
Uh go back to bed, Hortensia. I got this. I need something to do. I can't sleep right now. I'm a little too riled up. And it's just like hammer blow after hammer blow. And he's like shouting it over it with just thick ass goggles on his head, soot smeared all over his face. And he's just like, I'm good. Sorry, I'm borrowing your forge.
You just occasionally see her come out with, the snakes kind of slithering into like angular shapes with every slam. And she just comes out every once in a while with a pillow wrapped around her head, pressed against her ears, just glaring at you for a little bit and just takes a deep breath and kind of nods to herself and just turns and goes back into her room. And that occurs like every half hour or so as you're working on this. I believe you said you wanted to work on a chest piece or
Yeah.
scale armor.
Yeah. Chauncey's upgrading his armor off of scale into half plate.
All
So
right. So you do manage to get that done. It's probably crack a dawn at this point by the time you're finished, but you have it fully upgraded.
heck yeah. And I'm
All
just
right.
gonna slink back to the boat after doing
Yep.
that.
It's probably at this point that you see a couple of the 25 crew members that you haven't met. Just general, like sail unfurlers, line knot tires, those sorts of things. People that work on the ship that keep the ship moving, kind of come on and assume their positions, starting to work on the boat as you kind of come back and make your way to the giant cabin that you all are sleeping in.
I would like to if Jed, I assume Jed returned to the cabin after your conversation with Chauncey.
Yes.
So having seen Jed storm off frustrated, Chauncey follow puppy dog, met Jed's other side, I would like to cast Detect Thoughts on Jed when Jed returns to the the cabin.
All right. You pick up on exactly nothing.
Still a bitch. Well, then I would probably push, but I assume that would get me nowhere.
You can
It's just
try to
cricket.
push.
Yeah, I will try to push.
It's just cricket sounds.
All right. Yeah, as you're trying to cast the spell and read Jed's thoughts, it's almost like there's walls up. Like you're trying to eavesdrop on a conversation that's happening in a house from the street where all the windows are closed. There's clearly stuff going on inside, but you cannot get head or tail of it at all. Not a single whisper, not a single noise, nothing. It is silent.
Okay.
Well then.
Yeah.
It's very clearly something blocking the way of the spell. It's not that he doesn't have any thoughts. It's that there is something in the way.
You probably know that I tried that then. Also, just putting that out there.
I guess
Yeah.
how would that interaction work there, Spencer? I'm assuming if it was just a surface level thoughts version of the spell, nothing. But is he
Yes.
is he able to really push? And would I know? Like,
Because I would push if I got nothing.
I would say that you would know that someone has cast the spell Detect Thoughts and is pushing, but Shaw, you would still get nothing.
Yeah.
I guess
It would,
is there
yeah.
Can I roll I don't know, either perception or arcana or something to see if who's awake right now, or like I don't know,
Who's digging?
arcana to see magic things or what?
I guess it would be perception versus stealth. Perception for Jed, stealth for
Actually,
Shaw.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna subtle spell cast Detect Thoughts.
Detect Thoughts War.
And I'm just gonna go one by one down the cabin. Who's thinking something suspicious until I land on
So
Shaw.
I don't know where Velantrios is because Chauncey is definitely at the forge at this point. The only ones in the room is definitely Lyla, definitely Shaw. I don't know about the whereabouts of Velantrios. Are you still vomiting over the side of the ship, or are you back in the room?
Velantrios is honestly so exhausted from throwing up that he's back in the room, just trying to block everything out with the pillow.
Yeah, so you
So
probably get
I look into Velantrios' head, and all I see is just like, don't throw up. Don't throw up.
Yeah.
Don't throw up.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I'm just like, nope, don't vomit. Don't vomit. Hold it in.
Yeah,
Don't vomit.
basically, like, just picture the forest. Just picture the forest. Don't picture the ship. Oh God, I'm gonna throw up.
And then what does Jed get off of Lyla?
I mean, Lila's asleep, so probably she's just dreaming. Let's say she's having a dream that she's playing strip poker in like a bar somewhere, and she's kicking ass. So there's just like a bunch of naked guys around the table, like in their underwear, and a pile of money in
I'd
front
like
of her.
to think it's like a confusing assortment of people. Like the mayor of the town is there. I'm there. Like just like
Oh yeah,
just a
for sure.
random
Like,
collection of people in
Random
Lila's
assortment
life.
of random people. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, interesting. And
Chauncey's
then
gone. And so I think
Chauncey's
it
gone.
comes down to the last person.
What does
What's
Shaw
Shaw
get?
thinking?
Shaw is just very confused about this man, who he just learned is not just a man, and in his mind palace, he's just visualizing like circling this like locked safe right now.
Perfect. So I'll speak into your mind. And I'll say, I think you'll find that spell of yours will have a hard time working on me.
Oh, snap.
I noticed. Night.
I'm gonna push deeper.
Oh no.
Oh, so that's a saving throw on
It is a
Shaw's
saving
part?
Oh
Yes.
God.
What saving
Wisdom?
throw is it?
It is okay. The tech thoughts is such a long description.
I know, it's insane.
Initially learn as an action, I can if I wisdom save DC 17.
And you've already used all your portents for today.
Yep. Oh God, no, that's not good. It's 11.
So what you looking for and what do you get?
Okay. I mean, anything he wants to keep a secret, anything that's close to the
Oh
chest,
shit.
I want to see.
Laid bare. Secrets, not much as far as Shaw goes. He's
You get-
terrified, I would say, from the boat leaving, because that's how he lost his parents. He's a bit worried about you, and he's definitely stamped on his mind is the word Mazarandael, from earlier today.
Mhm.
And he's wondering how big of a mistake he's made.
Can I search for if there's any have you told me any lies about your motivation for coming with us?
Ooh, that's a good question. No.
So it truly is just a hankering for adventure.
To get the fuck out of town, yeah. It's such a basic man.
So this was much more. I had assumed as much, but this was more of a show of power. I think.
Don't like it. I
Oh
don't like
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh, does he get all the juicy fantasies about Dunstan too?
Oh my.
Just knowing
There's
that's up
definitely
there.
those. Yeah, definitely those. Oh God.
And I'll say after I'm very sure that you are aware of my searching around in your mind. I'll just say one last thing. I'll say, next time you want to poke around in somebody else's head, you might want to make sure there isn't somebody who's much better at it nearby.
It's like the longest minute of my fucking life.
Just like shut the
Literally
fuck
being held
down.
hostage for a whole minute as this man just goes through my brain.
Dunstan's cute, by the way, but not that cute.
Oh, I love it. The fucking
Oh.
drama.
Ugh.
Good night.
Yeah, so eventually all of you, unless anybody else says anything else, you all bed down for a nice long rest.
I wouldn't exactly call it nice.
Oh, well, sure.
Between the seasickness and then just the tension happening.
The tension's so thick you can cut it with a knife and spread it like butter on toast.
Lila's fine though.
Yeah,
Lila's
Lila's
just-
having a swell night.
I'm just imagining Lyla like with a full green mask, cucumbers, hair
Oh
wrapped up in a
yeah,
towel.
she definitely has like her hair's up in curlers. Like she's got the full ass nightgown, like the whole thing. Like it's yeah.
Oh my
Oh, I
She
love
needs her
the
beauty
90.
sleep.
I love that.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
It's definitely floral, like 100%.
Oh, sure, definitely 100%. Yeah, so you all are probably awoken either by Chauncey coming into the room or by the other 25 crew members boarding the ship over the course of maybe an hour to an hour and a half and starting to get to their stations, starting to set things up, put their belongings away, that sort of thing. And you are probably once again approached by Toshiko, the elf with the lantern, floating around by her side as she comes in and, well, unless there is any other business that you need to attend to, we will be setting off for Creator's Hollow. It should be a 2.5 day journey. So if there's anything you need to do, make sure you get it done now. We'll be leaving in probably 1 hour. And she makes her way to somewhere else on the ship.
We had to like sail here, like on a little boat, right? We're not like near town anymore.
Right, no.
Yeah.
It's not like an island or anything, but you did have to like take a 10-minute boat ride round the corner to like get to this place.
Cool.
Um,
I think the only thing I'm really gonna do is make sure when we all wake up, I'm just staring Shaw down.
Shaw just
Did
like gets up
I-
and like gets dressed and like hurries out.
Did I miss something?
Not a thing, Miss Lyla.
Oh, he ran out of here awful quick.
I think he
Must
just
be
needed to learn a
excited.
lesson on privacy last night.
Oh my. Sounds like I did miss something after all. Have to find out about that later, I suppose. We must be away.
It is pretty funny. Maybe I'll tell you.
so eventually the crew manages to get everything in place, and Leonidas takes his spot, the very large Triton captain at the wheel. And signals are given, ropes are tied up and let go. The sail is untied but not released. And the ship creaks and begins to move through the water out to the entrance as everybody kind of prepares. And you do see, if you are all on deck, Toshiko definitely comes up and says, "You might want to hold on to something, perhaps a railing or a rope. This part is always the hardest." And she just stands and puts her hand on like a banister somewhere, like on the stair, as you all reach the entrance.
Okay.
And this is the part where the water that is in the cave gives way to the open air of the Ponderosan waterless sea. The ship, as it hits the edge, creaks as it begins to tip over the edge, actually tipping forward. You feel yourselves naturally leaning back as the ship begins to slide off, and it falls. For a good
take my arm, Chauncey.
for a good 5 seconds, the ship descends before the sails unfurl and snap open with a huge crack, almost like thunder, as a sigil appears in glowing rainbow light, and the ship pitches backwards as the prow shoots up and the ship rises again. This is an incredibly violent action as it lurches forward to a stop at sea level once again. And it slowly begins to creak and move its way along as the sail stays open with a wind that you don't quite feel just yet. And the plate of Gold Rush begins to disappear into the distance. So, as you are now on the open sea, is there anything that any of you would like to do for entertainment purposes?
Always did hate that part.
Velantrios is just dead on the ground.
Should we even be on deck or should we be in the cabin is what I'm wondering.
I'll be
I
on
like the breeze.
Yeah, very much on deck.
There's a
I'll,
little bit of a
yeah,
breeze, but
I'll be
not
on deck with
much.
Faux Pas, letting Faux Pas enjoy.
Oh yeah, Faux Pas loves it. He loves climbing up like the little mast into the crow's nest and walking around on the rigging. The rigging kind of gives him a little trouble, but that's when he just flies around it. He's enjoying himself. There's a lot of good high places, and the crew don't really mind him. They continue working around him. You get the sense that this crew is used to working around animals that may or may not be on board and doing such activities. So Faux Pas kind of gets a few scritches here and there if he wants them, perhaps bats at a few crew members, and they just. Mwah. But yeah, Faux Pas is having the time of his life.
Velantrios is on the deck, and he's just starfished on the floor, just staring up at the sky. Because it's like if he doesn't see the boat, then
It's not just
okay.
seeing the motion of the ocean, it's just seeing a boat. Boats just make him sick.
I'll
He's
come up to
allergic to boat.
Velantrios and be like, I think the worst part of it is like how when you look up and look down, it's kind of just like you're looking at the same thing.
Mm-mm.
It's a bit dizzying.
Velantrios is like, what the hell do you mean by that?
We're sailing through the vortex, friend. Up is down, left is right. Everything's backwards out here.
Velantrios
Maybe
is
it's
suddenly
best you just
looking
leave him be.
Velantrios
I
is looking
think.
a little bit more green now. And
Oh, I'm sure.
clearly, if this was like if this was a show, all that would show was like his hand popping up and with a giant middle finger.
Just off screen from the floor, just rising up.
I wanna.
Yeah.
Can I take like a copper piece and just drop it off the side? Does it just straight
Like,
down?
see what
As
happens.
you look down, there are no clouds beneath you, but it is like blue
You're right.
sky. You drop a copper piece and it doesn't like hit water or any and just float down or anything. It just drops like a stone and just keeps going.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's quite the alarming sight. Um,
First
it
time
does
on the
give the
open
illusion
water.
of flying as opposed to being on water.
That does not help Velantrios' situation.
Oh, I'm
at
sure
all.
it doesn't. Just looking
Yeah.
off the edge of the boat, just seeing sky beneath you.
Chauncey's
No,
just in a
he
corner.
belongs on the ground. He belongs on the earth.
Yeah.
What's Chauncey doing?
Oh,
Mhm.
he's making sketches of everybody else in a sketchbook he pulls out of his bag. And like
Oh,
he
yeah.
spends a lot of time looking at God, faux pas. He's like doing illustrations of faux pas moving around. And like he'll
Nice.
pause occasionally and like bite the tip of his pencil with one fang and then go back into his sketchbook and he yawns. He didn't get much sleep last night, so he's a little on the tired side, but everybody else is up, so he's not gonna go to bed yet.
Mhm. So, yeah,
Lila's probably like, I don't know. You probably see her like try to challenge a few of the sailors to like a game of dice or something. Like, come on, entertain a lady, you know?
yeah, you do get a few people that kind of take you up on like one or two rounds, like not a full like good old night of cards or anything like that, but just like one
Right.
or two rounds because their section of the rigging doesn't need to be moved just yet, or the sail is doing just fine at the moment, but they may need to check on it in like 20 minutes, that sort of stuff. So you get like one or two of them. And dice aren't really your strong suit. As a person who is indebted to a being who rules over cards, dice aren't really your strong suit. The chance element gives you a little bit of an edge because your patron is very chance oriented, but you definitely feel more comfortable with cards. So
Right.
the dice are kind of a bit weird and it puts you on more of an even footing. You lose rounds of dice more than you lose rounds of cards, but you still come out on top most of the time.
Fair enough.
I'll talk to Chauncey while he's drawing, and I'll come up behind him and be like, You got my tattoos wrong a little bit there.
Oh, hi, Jed.
Hey, so you
Thanks.
it's celestial. You wrote, well, it's supposed to say divine power. You wrote divine pastries.
It's just one accent that's facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, right,
Power and
right.
pastries are of equal importance in the heavens, apparently.
There's just like this moment where he drops the pencil and like his head slowly turns while his eyes are narrowed, and then he picks it back up and he's just like stand there for a moment. Like, I have to correct this. Obviously, we can have no flaws, but
Of course.
it bugs him that the person who points them out is you.
It
Yeah.
is pretty good. You've always been a good artist, though.
I mean, I dabbled even when we were kids. Does it still say pastries? He'll flip it around.
No, you got it now. Looks great.
You know, I never pegged you for the kind of person who would learn celestial. But I suppose
Yeah.
it makes sense in some regards.
You pick up a lot of strange things. Well, I was gonna say my line of work, but it's not really a job. But you know what I mean.
Anyway,
Oh.
sorry.
So you spend a few more hours on the sea. It's probably 1 in the afternoon. The sun is still high in the air. Some clouds have formed in the sky, fluffy, tall, beautiful. It's getting a bit warmer, but the sea breeze and the weirdly salty smelling air that has begun to permeate is a little refreshing, if a little alarming to some. But over the wind, you begin to hear something. At first, it sounds like wind, but not quite. It gains a musical quality to it until you kind of begin to recognize it
Oh,
as
boy.
harps. And one of the sailors points over the edge and just yells, "Everyone, look over there!" And you see coming over
Looking.
the horizon towards you, weaving this way and that way, is something that is leaving trails of light, many things that are leaving trails of light as this harp music is getting louder and louder and louder until you realize they're dolphins. They are dolphins that, as they get closer and begin to swim under the boat and around the boat, they are glowing with almost Celtic knotwork
Lena,
over their bodies made
get
of
down
this
here.
rainbow light as
Oh.
they begin to weave and dance around the boat. And all of the sailors are just over the edge looking at these things as they're twirling and weaving. And then finally, they all come together into this huge pod that then leaps over the boat, impossibly high, weaving around each other. And they leave a rainbow in the sky before landing below sea level and swimming off.
Can I
I'm just-
nature
sorry.
check to see if I know what dolphins just said gay rights to us?
Yeah, anyone who would like to, you can make a nature check or an arcana check.
Let me see what we
Uh,
got going on here.
23.
They're the
Damn,
same for
okay.
me, so we'll go nature.
They're the same for me too, and I only
I
got a
love
12.
your dog.
I got a 20.
All right.
Yeah, she's a fucking weirdo.
Where is the
Okay.
fucking dice? Oh, it's have to accept cookies on D&D.
I'm gonna be
to
honest. I
see
was
things.
getting very like my cursor was getting very close to wisdom saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Unnatural 20 Arcana.
All right. So those of you that I believe Lyla, Velantrios, and Jed, these are creatures known as delighters. They are dolphins that have experienced joy within the Fey realm or close to a Fey crossing and have become suffused with Fey energy. We're always friendly to familiars on this podcast. We've had quite a few of them show up. But yeah, any dolphin that experiences true joy near a Fey crossing or in the waters of the Fey Wild gain this sort of magic to them. They can create music, like true music. They can sing. They can't speak, but they can sing. And they leave rainbow trails and can do little bits of magic here and there. So this pod of dolphins probably got into a Fey crossing or near a Fey crossing of some type and became suffused with Fey energy, and they like to sing to humans and sailors and dance around their ships.
Is Velantrios able to transform into one of these?
No, you can
Can-
transform into a regular dolphin, but not one of these. Sorry, not allowing
Would
that
it-
one.
Would a regular dolphin be able to swim out here, or would he just like plummet off the
Plummet
side
to
of
death.
So the waters of Ponderosa act very strangely. They act as though they are there, but also act as though they are not. So there are islands out here, there's rocks out here, there's seaweed and coral out here, there's sea life out here. It's strange because those that can breathe, that can only breathe water, can breathe under sea level, but you bring them above sea level and they'll start suffocating and choking, even though there's no water. It's
Neat.
a weird
Fascinating.
aspect of the Ponderosan Sea that it acts as though it's there, but also acts as though it's not. So yeah, sea life does and can live out here, provided it is below sea level.
Okay, noted.
Yes, it's very weird. But thus is the magic of whatever O did to preserve the
Yeah.
lands of Ponderosa after the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you
Great though.
experience that. And there's definitely a couple more hours to kill as the sun begins to set a little more. Is there anything else anyone would like to do?
I don't know. Let's say Lila's just we're gonna try to entertain everybody with a song. Like we'll start a sea shanty, see if we can get one of those infectious little working songs, like finish out the day.
All right.
All right. Well, we got a 14. So again, Lyla really needs to stop trying to fucking sing. Jesus.
Can I give her the help action by like minor illusioning like background music or something?
Sure. Sure.
you
Roll
know-
it again. Tell me if you get higher.
Okay. There we go. That'll do. That's a 21.
Okay, yeah, you definitely get a sea shanty going, and
Yeah.
it's a good half an hour of singing through various sea shanties as the crew kind of works. And as you get closer to the evening, you see off the port side of the ship is a gigantic spined rockfish. It is yellow. It is sort of an orange in color. The spines on its back sticking up along the ridge. It's sort of googly eyes staring off into the middle distance. But on its back seems to be a fisherman's hut. And also on its back seem to be growths that are like rocks that have grown out of its skin. And it sort of swims closer to the ship as sitting on the sort of dock of, it's a very short, maybe like 5-foot long dock that's sort of strapped to it, is a Triton fisherman who has a fishing line out dangling off down into the void. And as you look down, there are definitely big old schools of fish swimming around. And he definitely notices you all coming and kind of reels in his line as he stands up and waves to the ship and just shouts, "Hail! Wares for sale? and waves.
Hail, where's for sale?
Wares.
He's hailing the ship, and he has wares to sell. Um,
I guess I'll ask the captain or first mate or something.
Yeah, like isn't that up to him or
Is
like
this like a normal thing that happens? Should we stop? Like,
yeah, we might stop. We never know what we can pick up in these things. Sometimes information is just as valuable as whatever he has to sell.
Velantrios is like,
all
I say
right,
we
you're
get
the
off
expert.
the ship.
Do you think it's gonna be better on the big fish?
Oh.
The giant rockfish with rocks on it.
Yes.
Do you just want to touch a rock right now, even though it's like I don't know if those are real rocks. I think there's sort of like a biological formation on it, but
Velantrios,
go nuts.
Velantrios just grabs Jed's shirt and he's like, I need to get off this boat.
All right. Hail, big fish man.
Leonidas just with that is just laughing. All right, yeah, we can hail him. And he kind of waves back, and that's when this Triton man gets apparently these reins of the fish and like begins guiding it over. It's probably about a 5-minute process of guiding this fish over to the side of your boat as some of the crew members let down the anchor and you begin to come to a stop as these two weird sea entities come together. And the Triton man boards the ship with a very large satchel on his back, as well as a few other bags. Well, hello.
how do
I wasn't well so far. I do have wares for sale, of course. If any of you would like some giant octopus, perhaps giant eel. I do also have quite a selection of sea glass, if any of you would like that.
Pretty.
Well, more than
nothing
pretty,
more
it has.
interesting?
Well, sea glass certainly has many magical applications, I've been told, which was why I started selling it.
Just
So
to be
this-
clear.
Chauncey's already like, okay, where's the sea glass at? Let me see.
I was like, yeah, that sounds way more like Chauncey's bag. Like,
But just to be clear, like this, like we're able to get on the fish, right?
No, he's gotten onto the boat.
Oh,
yeah.
gods.
Why are you trying to hijack his fish?
Velantria, Grand Theft Fish,
Yeah, like
Grand Theft Sea Life,
literally.
getting a
Theft
5
Tuna.
clam wanted rating. Yeah, so he unpacks and opens up and he pulls out quite a few. It's just a bag full of sea glass.
Mm.
It's like, I'm willing to trade for this. Gold and silver also works, but I could do with trade as well if there's anything you would like to trade for it. It would have to be a significant amount to get the whole bag, but a few scoops or so probably wouldn't run you more than 2 or 3 silver.
What are the magical applications of sea glass?
Not quite sure, but I know the salt of the ocean and the motion of the waves that created it can be drawn upon. It leaves magical imprints on the glass. Glass is a very magical substance sometimes. It reflects and bends light. So
Could I make a check to lecture everybody about the magical applications of sea glass?
sure, you can make me an Arcana check if you'd like.
Oh my god.
That's a 19.
Yay.
So yeah, sea glass can be used in a variety of magical aspects. They're kind of in a way considered lesser gemstones, whereas gemstones can hold a lot of magic and have a lot of broad affiliations, like emerald with protection and ruby with fire and other things like that that you can draw upon. Sea glass vaguely mimics it. You can't make incredibly powerful magical items with sea glass, but you can make
magical items.
You can make a few magical items with it, very minor ones though. There's also ideas that perhaps the salt from the sea can be drawn upon to do things like cast blight spells or work with necrotic energy that dries out creatures. But it's a very experimental field that hasn't really been worked with as much as they're used as like minor versions of gemstones, like clear being used for quartz and diamond, red being used for ruby, green being used for emerald, and sometimes jade if it's frosty enough. But very, very minor. Like you probably can't you could probably only make common magical items with these, not even uncommon.
I have a small above game unorthodox request. So I need a glass eye of seeing. Does he have a sea glass eye?
Unfortunately, no, he does not. Unfortunately, he does not.
Could I make him a glass eye if I bought this glass and melted it down?
You probably could. You probably could make a glass eye if you got enough glass and melted it down. Of course, it would change the property. It would no longer be sea glass, so you would have to use it in the ways that glass adheres to magic, which is typically through dividing up light and divination. So it would hold the spell pretty well.
Imagine
but yeah, you could.
Imagine a stained glass eye.
That would be hard to do, but possible.
Yeah. All right.
So yeah, are you trading for this glass, or are you buying the glass outright?
Let me see what we got here.
I think you have a few things in your bags that you're like,
Chauncey's gonna pull out his he's got that gem of light, or that thing that we got from the Zorn,
the gem of brilliance.
The gem of brilliance. Chauncey's gonna be like, I'm not using this right now. Would you want to trade this for that glass? It's a lot more magic.
He looks at it and kind of turns it around. So quite a pristine gemstone. And you said it was more magic. What does it do?
Give me a second and I'll tell him. I just need to Google what these things do.
It might be called a gem of brightness.
Yeah, it does.
It's either a gem of brightness or gem of brilliance.
Yeah, it's brightness.
Brightness. Okay, it is a gem of brightness.
It pretty much shoots out light. That's essentially what it does.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a gem of brightness. Chauncey's gonna be like, here, let me demonstrate. And he's gonna he came up with a command word or something that actually works on it, because of course he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna go through it's like a flashlight, the 3 modes. And he's gonna point it at which one of you? Oh, hey Jed. He's gonna point it at Jed.
Oh god.
And say the next command word. And can I get a DC 15 Constitution saving throw?
Wow.
Damn. Stone cold.
Wow.
Besties. Oh god, that was horrid.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, that's pretty rough.
Jedidiah is about to get a sunburn.
What'd you get?
8.
Oh, you're blinded for the next minute.
Ow,
It's
what
Fuck, Chauncey!
Master, what incarnation possessed you to do such a thing?
I would take a step back from the edge, Jen.
I cast lesser restoration on myself.
Damn, okay.
It's not permanent. It's only a little bit, and I needed to show him what it can do.
It's
I don't want me to say it a third time, because then it'll hit everybody.
It's only a little bit of blindness. Okay.
I like
only a little
smack
bit of...
you on the back of the head.
Oh my word. So yeah, that's what that does.
It's a tiny bit more magical.
I will certainly take it. I would say that this is probably maybe half the bag. I mean, this is a pretty big bag. This is probably like 5 pounds of sea glass. So you get a good 2.5 pounds of sea glass. As he
Okay.
kind of
How
pours it
much
over.
gold to throw in the rest of it?
I would say maybe only really 1 gold. I was working in silver for this. It's not
Oh.
uncommon to find sea glass around, but it has some value.
Oh, yeah. Chauncey will flick him a gold coin and hand him the stone that he never uses, so he doesn't have to
Yep.
remember it on his character sheet anymore.
Yep.
And he's just got a 5-pound bag of sea glass in one hand now.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir.
And all you have to do is
Alright.
blind somebody temporarily to get it.
There may be times when I may need to use this. The high seas can be pretty dangerous sometimes, pirates and all. But I guess I should probably warn you, about a few miles away is the conditions for a storm. It's starting to brew. I'm getting myself out of there, but perhaps finding a different route around it, or if you wish to brave it. Either way, I should probably just warn you either way. Seems like a pretty bad storm,
Oh boy.
and a pretty large one.
Oh boy. On the bright side, Velantrios is about to lose a lot of weight.
Oh,
And
I don't
Velantrios
think
didn't
that's the
weigh that
kind
much
of
to begin with, did he?
information.
Like,
No.
I didn't imagine Wilderness Man having too much weight on him.
Meat.
No, he's very lean.
Yeah, so he's gonna go from healthy thin to unhealthy thin.
Right.
He's gonna look like scurvy.
Oh. Well, if you all don't mind, thank you for that transaction. But since we're sitting here, if any of you would like to share a bit of a meal with me, I do need to get rid of some of the fish that I've caught. It is raw tuna, but I assure you it is safe. And he pulls out this like just huge hunk of tuna that's been already sliced down the middle. It still has the
Ooh,
skin on one side.
sashimi.
Which interestingly would actually exist during that time.
Delicious.
So yeah, everyone comes together and a few people drag over like boxes and things like that, and he starts cutting up the fish. And of course the sailors are used to food like this, so they eat it. And yeah, any of you who wish to join get some raw tuna that you can then eat if you would like.
Oh yeah, I'll take some yellowfin.
I'll take some.
Get it in. Get it in.
Give a little bit to faux pas.
Oh yeah, faux pas
Yeah,
loves
of
this.
course.
Faux pas probably doesn't get this at home, so faux pas is just like, yes. Starts begging the sailors for bits of it, just going around giving them the saddest eyes of like, I'm so hungry, please.
Velantrios he would like to eat if he didn't know that it would just end up out of him regardless.
Still the seasickness, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I love how like he doesn't just like lesser restoration or something like on himself, or nobody's like helping that. We're just gonna let him.
We're just gonna let it ride.
Yeah.
How else is he gonna get his sea legs?
He's gotta learn.
Yep.
This poor man.
So yeah, after the delightful meal of raw tuna finishes up, the man gets up and, well, if you ever need me again or another fisherman, the name is Calamar. You can probably find me out here somewhere, but sometimes I spend some time in Amarillo around the ports. If you ever need me again, of course. But I will see you all later. Thank you very much for purchasing some of these items. Are you sure you don't want any? And he just pulls a huge, like, 4-foot long tentacle out of his bag. This is
Thank
only half
you
of it.
so
No,
much,
thank
Calamar,
you.
for your hospitality. We do appreciate it, but there was that storm coming, so I do think it's best you be on
Well-
your way and us on ours.
Shouldn't we ask the cook if he could use it?
Mm, uh, you mean you want to eat that?
I'll stick to the tuna.
You know, I heard they're smart.
Blantrios Blantrios looks to Lyla and he's like, I thought you liked suckers.
Entirely different matter, my dear. Entirely different matter.
Well, then I will bid you adieu, he says, putting the tentacle back in his bag as it flops in without back into the bag before closing it.
Like, so disappointed nobody wants his tentacles. Like,
I
I have
advocated
so
for
many of
one.
them.
You miss every bite you don't take.
You would say that.
Says the Dhampir.
Yeah.
saith the Dhampir.
Of course. Well, good luck out there. And he gives you a salute and hops back on his fish and starts sending his fish off in the opposite direction as it swims away off into the distance.
Bye now.
At this point, you do see the captain give a command to one of the other just members of the crew to take the wheel as he and Toshiko head down into the ship, presumably to meet about possible routes around and such. But other than that, the evening is yours to do as you please.
Okay, Shaw's really curious now. If I look over the edge of the ship and I see like a fish, if I cast like shape water around the fish, can I move the fish? I need to know.
Weirdly,
my God.
yes. Weirdly, yes, you can move the fish around, but once it gets to the surface, you can't move it up farther than the surface. As if the
Wait.
magic recognizes that should be water and this shouldn't be. Like you can't shape water the air above sea level, but the air below sea level reacts to shape water.
Okay, faux pas. I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm gonna need you to fly down and grab that fish.
Okay,
all right. Yep. Give me an attack roll with faux pas as he dives over the edge to catch the fish. Weirdly, as also as faux pas dives below sea level, there is no indication that faux pas is suffocating or cannot breathe.
That's all I need to know. That's so weird. It's an 8.
All right, so the fish
he
manages to dart away as faux pas goes in for a bite, and the fish
and he just
swims
keeps
away.
He's just still flying.
Yep, he's still flying. There's no indication that he has to swim or that he's suffocating.
Is this normal, Shaw? Chauncey's like 2 steps behind you, peering over the edge, watching you get pencil in one hand, flipping to it. He's like, is this normal behavior for one of these things? I'm curious. I'm not familiar with them very much.
For faux pas?
What did you call winged cats? What did you call them?
Good
A
question.
tressum.
Tressums.
Tressum.
Obviously.
Tressum.
Yeah.
We don't have many where I grew up, so
And Shaw.
I was like, oh, obviously Tressum. Yeah, they're pretty playful, like a normal cat. Just throw some wings on there.
I noted that the kill success on that was quite poorly, though.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna try again, but going for you. Nope. I assume a 3 doesn't hit you.
As faux pas just leaps over the edge directly towards you, and you just catch faux pas, and he makes a very frustrating and disgruntled noise as he just kind of hangs there.
Right, Chauncey 3 does not hit Chauncey at all. So if he can't
Nope.
catch, he's just gonna catch and like start kind of like lifting limbs,
Like
and,
inspecting it.
doing a veterinary inspection on this winged cat.
Christ.
I love that so much.
I hope you're not doing a rectal exam.
Oh goodness.
He's paying attention to like the wings, and he's like, Chauncey may or may not be a little weird on the comfort level of a living creature that he's handling right now. But giving a little faux pas chin scritch as he's studying him.
This is just fascinating behavior. Like Lila's just staring like in awe, like what?
These two
actually is going on?
wackadoos doing wackadoo
Okay.
things.
Yeah, what is actually going on? I got a table.
I see that.
Anyway, so your inspection of faux pas continues. Yeah, it seems to be a cat with
What just happened?
What? What?
Oh.
What did just? Oh, no! I don't want to do what I'm doing.
What is
Uh-oh.
happening? What
Somebody
is
started sharing a whiteboard.
Let me see if I can turn whiteboards off. Yes, I'm going to turn whiteboards and notes off. Just so that
is
doesn't
it
happen
gone?
by accident again. Yes, it's gone.
Did it go away?
I was like,
This will
what
be
is happening?
humorous for people who listen to this instead of watch this.
That was a scary time for me.
Yeah, so next time I will be turning the whiteboards off and the notes off in
Oops.
security.
So yeah,
Take it.
I'll bribe faux pas with like a little piece of tuna I squirreled away at the end of the meal and be like, thank you. After I've sufficiently studied the cat.
Yeah.
Faux pas still glares at you as
Begrudgingly
as he
takes it.
as he continues eating open-mouthed the tuna, just eating
Checking
it
to
like
see what he
cats
had
do
for
while still
breakfast, like-
glaring.
Oh.
So yeah, at this point in the evening, you probably see Toshiko and Leonidas come back up, and Leonidas retakes the wheel and starts giving orders that you don't quite understand because you all aren't ship people. So he starts giving commands and starts spinning the wheel. As it goes into the evening, you do end up catching almost like the tail end of the storm. As the storm rolls in, lightning flashes, it does start to rain. As the boat begins to rock violently. And I do need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
It was bound to happen.
We can do that. I had a feeling one of these was coming. 14?
Constitution.
Well, I'm gonna take your a knock. Did you hear me?
I'm in the meeting.
Oh. Social security.
15.
15.
12.
12.
Yeah, I rolled shitty.
Uh-oh.
So I know there's a difference between Constitution and Constitution saving throw. Is there?
If you
And-
have if you're proficient in Constitution saving throws, then there is a difference. It'll tell you under saving throws on your sheet.
Do you use D&D Beyond?
Yes.
It's in
So
the top left.
It's the top left where it says
Mhm.
saving throws.
There you
It should
are.
have a little filled in dot next to it if you're proficient in it. If not,
You
you're just adding the
click
con
thingy.
modifier.
22.
Well, goddamn.
All right. It
Okay.
seems after a day of feeling completely and utterly ill, you begin to hold yourself together, and the rocking of the boat, it does bother you. It's not going to not bother you, but you manage to hold down whatever food you might have managed to eat that day. However, anybody that got lower than a 14, the rocking of the boat sets you off. You are sick as a dog.
Barbecue?
Definitely vomiting, definitely not feeling well.
This is like the dumbest use of a portent die ever, but I
Oh my
refuse
God.
to throw up in front of these people.
I foresaw it. I definitely didn't get seasickness.
Oh goodness.
So who failed?
So I think Chauncey is the only one who
I
failed.
failed.
Yep,
Chauncey.
I'm good.
Yeah, so Chauncey, you definitely vomit.
Blow chunks.
Is it blood?
I mean, Chauncey eats solids and drinks blood, but there's probably like a little
Foster
bit of
cookies.
like the radioactive orange of the last blood he actually drank is still in his system.
Oh, the
Ew.
highlighter neon orange.
the
Moves
glowing
slow.
blood.
Okay, so I know I say this a lot, but I can honestly imagine like Chauncey throwing up rainbows like in anime
Oh goodness.
because of the neon orange stuff.
Ugh.
And cupcakes. And a raw fish also. That we
Yeah.
that
Oh,
we just
yeah.
ate.
Great combo. Cupcakes and raw fish. Great combo. Love it. A delicacy.
Mhm.
Yeah. And after a while, you all start to bed down as some of the crew stays up a little bit later to keep the boat headed in the right direction. But it seems you have attempted to avoid as much of the storm as possible. It definitely could have been a lot worse. But you all bed down for a lovely long rest. So those spells that you all spent, particularly that lesser restoration, do come back.
I'm a
And-
warlock, baby. It comes back on a short rest.
Oh, yes, it does. I forgot about that.
Long rest, and I'm gonna store something. What am I storing? Let's store Fairy
Awesome.
Fire. Yeah, let's store Fairy Fire.
Sure.
Die for the next day.
Not to mention, I have a Pearl of Power and a Rod of the Pack Keeper now. I have a lot of ways of making those spell slots come back.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, your ring. Well, I don't think your ring is technically a. Is it just mechanically a pearl of
It's
power?
mechanically the same effect as a Pearl of Power. Third
Okay.
level
Jesus
spell slot or
Christ.
lower. Speaking of which, I feel like before Chauncey slinks into bed feeling sick, he's just gonna like fish out like a ring from his bag and be like, "Shaw, come over here."
Yes.
He's like hand over his mustached mouth, and there's a little bit of ore, and he's like, "I need to go clean up, but here you go."
Just like mage hand grab it.
Even the mage hand is like a little disgusted
Yeah, then-
by it. It's just like gross.
You want to wear that for about an hour to attune to it, okay?
Okay.
Trust me, it's good. I make.
Oh
Oh no.
no.
I should have gotten more sleep last night. I'm gonna go to bed now.
And I'm not sure if Velantrios is nearby. If he is, then whatever. Velantrios is just like, welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oof. Yeah.
I guess I will put this ring on.
The ring. Luckily, the ring is clean. It was probably recently cleaned, not just because it was in the bottom of the bag and probably wiped off by Chauncey, but by the magic that was cast on it to infuse it to be a ring of spell returning.
I like to think that each ring starts off with like a clear gemstone in it, and once you attune to it, it's like a mood ring. That the gemstone in it matches the character's like, what color is my soul?
Ah, yes. Yeah. So you all end up taking a nice, lovely long rest, or at least some of you take a lovely long rest. Others take a frequently disturbed long rest, with vomiting and seasickness and staring at the ceiling.
Lila's probably actually like kept up like by all this sick, like she's genuinely disturbed like to be around all this mess.
Just the sound of that squelching wet throw up.
Well, plus just all the up and down. Like
Shaw's just gonna keep like looking over at Jed to make sure he's not like
sneaking in again.
Can I roll perception or something to see or insight to see if Shaw's like freaking out at me?
Sure, roll an insight. And I'll let Shaw, if you want to hide it, you can either roll a performance or a deception if you think he would even try.
I got a nat
No.
20.
Probably
Okay.
not.
All right.
Okay, and then I want.
God damn it, this
I love how
man.
they're just fucking with each other.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what?
just gonna do a little like minor illusion once I notice that he's like eyeing me throughout the night, and I just really want to just like do up the demon features, like some flames, the horns get bigger, a forked tongue comes out.
Asshole.
Making direct eye contact
You're
with you.
an asshole.
Full on little Nicky.
Oh, yep. Yep, you
And you
minor
hear in
illusion
your
then.
mind just, ooh.
You know what? Can I do something off to the side? I'm gonna do what all of you never did, and I'm gonna help Chauncey by doing. Can I do a medicine check to?
Yeah, you can do a medicine check.
Oh my god!
Just let him be sick.
I'm not a fucking doctor.
Not anymore. Not in this campaign.
Oh, there you are.
Mm-mm.
You're just a preacher, man.
Percy did enough medicine checks for a lifetime for me, all right?
It was like every episode, twice an episode. Can I do a medicine check? Can I do a medicine check? Can I do a medicine check?
Yep.
Medicine check, medicine
Yep.
check.
Somebody else can do.
In his defense, it worked out. So
It was a 12.
good job.
So you don't harm him, but you don't help him as much as you think you should have. Chauncey, you do feel a little better as you're kind of, like I'd like to think that you're sharing tips on like things that you've noticed, like, oh, if you keep your eye on one particular spot, or you kind of breathe in a certain way or whatever, that it kind of helps with the nausea. And it does help a little, but it doesn't help enough that you don't continue to throw up in the middle of the night. Just maybe less than you would have if you hadn't kind of gotten those little tips from Velantrios.
I just give him some saltines and a can of ginger ale.
Which somehow, I think ginger ale actually did exist back in like
Ginger
cowboy
beer,
times.
probably.
Yeah,
Ginger
something
beer.
along those lines. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
something
I'd
like
say
that.
you'd probably have like maybe a couple of cans of that laying around somewhere that the cook would be all right with handing over. But yeah, so that does help a little bit. And you do have a long rest, so whatever spells come back. You get your portents or any other things, your infusions, should you want to use them. And the sun rises once again. And the morning is yours to use. As once again, the sailors come back out and they begin going up into the rigging and start shifting, things around. Seems like a regular morning on the sea.
You spend all that measuring each other's dicks again.
I assume I would be gone, honestly, before anyone wakes up. I'm literally like the first one out.
Just out
Well,
into
why?
the breeze.
We're all such good friends, Shaw.
All in good fun.
I'm sending Faux Pas' quest today is to find a nook in the ship where Shaw could set up a hammock.
I guess you could give Faux Pas an investigation check.
Oh God. Oh hey, 16.
Yeah, so you find a nice place kind of down on one of the lower levels of the ship. Not quite in the storage room, but like close to the crew, but not directly next to the crew. It's a nice, lovely place where there's presumably would have been beds or hammocks, if not for there not being enough crew to fill them all. And so you can move your hammock down there if you'd like.
Nice.
All right. Anything else anyone would like to do?
Am I still sick the next morning, or am I okay yet?
You are okay. You've kind of gotten it out of your system. You might not entirely have your sea legs. You might have moments of, but it relatively, you don't throw up. You might not feel great, but you certainly feel better.
I'm changing my prepared spells to have lesser restoration on hand.
Of course.
Who's ready today?
I forgot
Um,
artificers could change their spells, can't they?
Artificers can change their spells each morning. So I'm going to give up Snare to have lesser restoration available.
Oh, I didn't know you had snare.
Yeah, Snare was one of the first level ones that I had prepped.
Interesting. Anyway.
Um,
So as you continue
Just
sailing
ship travel.
along,
Mhm.
you begin to see a lot of kind of floating rocks here and there out in the ocean as Leonidas is starting to kind of weave in between them. And you begin to see quite a few seagulls on the rocks. And as you continue, there are more and more and more seagulls.
Oh,
There's an alarming amount of
okay.
seagulls everywhere. And
Well, that's all a bit odd now, isn't it?
yeah, at this point, you definitely see both Leonidas and Toshiko kind of looking around, since they're the ones that are on the deck the most. The other ones tend to stay below deck and manage the crew below the decks. But they begin to kind of look around very suspiciously, and you see Toshiko kind of run up to Leonidas, and the two of them kind of quietly begin talking with one another, just back and forth, as there is an ungodly amount of seagulls. There's seagulls covering the rocks. There's seagulls in the air.
Can I do a nature check?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I go up to Velantrios and be like, "Aren't animals like your bag? Do you want to do something about that?"
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna
you
say,
can.
can I do a nature
Is
check?
Yes,
is
you
this
can.
normal? Yeah, right.
Yep, you can certainly do a nature check.
Mother, 12.
Sea animals aren't really your bag. It's more
wonder
of land
why.
animals.
Can't you like ask them what they want or something?
I don't have speak with animals.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
Good are you then?
being from the port city, can I do a nature check?
Sure. Yeah, you can.
Oh God, never mind. 11. I can bump it. You know what? We'll make it a 15.
You're using a portent.
Why not?
Damn.
I mean-
Okay.
Go for it.
Seagulls do tend to travel in flocks. This is not a flock. This is a veritable horde. And it is unnatural for them to gather in this amount. They are practically shoving each other off the top of the rocks. They are flying in the air. You actually see some of them like flying underneath the boat too, as it's just seagull central. And you watch as Toshiko comes back down from the ship and begins grabbing some of the crew members and pointing to the inner part of the ship and just telling them something. And the sailors begin to whisper. And Leonidas approaches you. Seems we've made a bit of a interesting route. We weren't expecting this. I don't suppose any of you have heard any of the old sea tales before.
No.
Could I have heard a sea tail?
Possibly, I have.
Shaw is probably the one who
History?
would have. Yeah, I'll let you all make history, just general history checks to see just like how well versed you are in old sailors' tales.
24.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, so you've
Ooh.
probably heard of quite a few of them.
I got a history add +8. That's a 27.
Yep, so you definitely got some old sea tales.
Got a 15.
I'm gonna say no.
I
You
got
might
a
have heard a
19.
few like general ones. Yeah, Velantrios, you surprisingly somehow you may have heard quite a few of them, but maybe not as many as Shaw or Chauncey. Is Lyla
The
giving
sea
it a
tale
go?
of what to do with a drunken sailor or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Oh, no, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
that
Lyla got a 7, so
I'm surprised. It
Didn't
seems
really
that the
listen to
sailors
those
don't
sailors.
really you don't really listen to the sailors as much as other things to the sailors, and the sailors don't really tell stories unprompted.
uh-huh. Sure.
Um, Seems quite a few of these old sea tales seem false, but they are, in fact, very true. And it seems something has done a bit of moving house. We presume. I don't presume you've heard the tale of old Scrappy, have you?
Have I?
Probably not you.
Assume so.
Shaw and Chauncey have probably heard it. It's not a very common one. Old Scrappy is the king of the seagulls,
Oh no.
rumored to be a big seagull.
Oh, no.
And you don't want to mess with him because he's very territorial and eats just about anything.
Just like
You might have heard a
seagulls.
tale about him swallowing a boat.
Oh,
Delm he used to say his mom used to scare him as a little kid, saying that if he didn't behave, old Scrappy'd eat him. I thought it was just
I'm not surprised. Old Scrappy eats about just about everything.
Granny Zann said he ate ships.
what's an old Scrappy?
Old Scrappy is what we call this king of the seagulls. He's the biggest one of the lot. And apparently, the storm might have sent him out of his usual hunting grounds. So he's probably
Uh-huh.
here, and he's probably very hungry.
Fantastic. So how quickly we can steer around that?
We are trying to make our way out of here as quickly as possible. We are trying to go as quietly as possible, which is why you saw Toshiko not yelling out, but pulling and whispering so that the crew doesn't get too freaked out. We are ready in harpoon guns in case he comes around, but I need you all to I know you all are not just regular old travelers going from point A to point B, but you all have weapons on you and have magic at your disposal. So if push does come to shove, I need you to pull your weight and make sure that old Scrappy doesn't sink our boat.
Major.
Great, yeah.
Why do I get the
Right.
sudden feeling that we're gonna have barbecue?
Could have what?
Barbecue bird.
Oh,
I don't know about seagull though. That's like
I'm gonna
like a
cast aid
flying rat.
on the 3 sickliest looking ones of us.
Thank
Who's
you.
got-
so
who's
what?
got
You,
2
Shaw, and
HP?
Velantrios?
I mean,
Probably.
Chauncey's got the best HP, I think, out of the group. So who has low HP naturally?
I'm
Me?
38.
Yeah, I have 38.
I'm at 51.
Oh,
Good lord!
Jesus.
okay, cool.
And technically, you have what? 2 additional health
Yeah,
bars,
2
depending
health
on what
balls,
monster you
yeah.
pick, what
So-
creature you pick for your wild shape.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, what level are you?
Give
Can
it
you
to
fly
the
yet?
other
I think
3,
you're on-
Chauncey.
yeah.
No, flying is 8. I checked. Flying is 8. Swimming is 4th. So he can turn into various fish, but not into birds.
I was gonna
Not
say, how
yet.
would that work out?
Or to me. Give it
I
to
want,
me. And
I
I want
yeah.
you to turn into a giant octopus and just jump off the ship and
'Cause
see
he
what
can get
happens.
extra health.
I'll throw aid on Velantrios, Lyla, and Shawthorn.
Thank you.
How do
And
I
this
apply
does what
that?
now? Is this temp HP?
You get 5 extra hit points on top of your regular hit points that are not temporary hit points, so they can stack. It's weird.
Yes.
It increases your hit point maximum.
By
Yes,
5.
it's really
Temporarily.
weird.
Okay,
Temporarily
gotcha.
increases your hit
hours.
point maximum.
You
Yeah,
can heal
Oh,
these
okay.
back, unlike temp HP that you can't heal
Yes.
Hey.
Yeah, but there are some spells that continually top up that temporary HP at the beginning of every round. I think Heroism does that.
It does.
Yeah, where if you're missing it, you lose them. Where like at the end of the turn, you lose it, and it comes back. It's weird, and it's
Yeah.
hard to explain to some people. But okay, so yeah, your hit point maximum increases by 5, and I think you heal 5 to put you up to that maximum.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I'm
All right.
also gonna. Chauncey's in buff mode. He's gonna use because yet again, Daddy was an elf and Mama was a vampire. Mama lets him cast False Life once a day for free.
Oh,
my.
yes. Interesting.
Yeah.
Not say it.
6 temporary hit points of his own.
Mm-hmm. Very convenient. So yeah, unless anybody else has anything, you continue the boat creaking along as the crew is remaining relatively silent, doing as little noisy work as possible. And that's when you begin to see sea lions. Not the seal, the lionfish. Completely eviscerated, laying on the rock, dripping blood. You see probably about 10, 15 of them. Completely gored.
How
blood
gruesome.
everywhere. And that's when all of the seagulls at once take off. And you hear the roar of a sea lion that is suddenly cut short by terrifying, squelching, cracking, and ripping sounds before you hear the cry of a seagull 10 times louder than a seagull and about an octave deeper that cries out.
Well, so much for steering around it.
Does anyone have illusion skill?
Some.
I
don't
think
think-
we best rely on a gun, maybe.
Yeah.
Gun
Maybe
is
would
the
be
better
better.
spell.
Mhm, yeah.
Can I put an infusion on the ship's cannons?
What infusion are you planning on putting on the ship's cannons?
Repeating
And
shot?
how long is this gonna take?
I don't know. Okay, it was a dumb idea. I just thought
I think it's a bit too, I think a cannon is a bit too big to put that infusion on. It would need to be like a greater repeating shot or something like that. I think it only works on like crossbows and guns.
I
Gun
know.
guns.
It would be cool if I could.
It would
It
be pretty
would,
badass.
but it's a
I'm not gonna
bit
lie, like a
big.
buff game, that'd be great.
It would be great, but I don't think I can justify it. It's the cannon is just too big of a weapon.
Right.
Amazing.
But yeah, as you continue sailing, you watch as climbing up the rock,
Oh, boy.
one of these rocks, a seagull that is 12 feet tall on its own. Its front is covered in fresh blood and old blood, a lot of blood. Its eyes are red, and its wings look like it's missing quite a few feathers. It looks haggard and a little dirty. There's also protrusions coming out of its head, of its shoulders, of its back. These bony spikes. Some of them look like antlers. Some of them just look like curved horns or ribs. Some of them are tiny spikes or just nubs. But this haggard old seagull turns and spots the ship creaking by. The crew are definitely on edge. It gives another cry as it tosses a sea lion it's been eating onto the deck with a wet, leaving a good 5-foot long smear of blood as this eviscerated sea lion just lays there, its leonine face and eyes staring glassy and empty, its mouth open as it just lays there on the deck. And it gives
Miss
another
Lyla,
cry.
don't look. It's horrible.
It gives another deep cry before it takes to the air. And I need everybody to roll initiative.
And that's what I was waiting for. There it is. There it is. Oh, 22.
Damn it.
22 for Lyla.
7.
7 for Velantrios.
5.
5 for Shaw and 6 for Jed.
Chauncey got an 11. Somehow he's
Oh.
going second out of the party with an 11.
Oh no.
You're not
All
a
right.
fast group.
I know. You all in the last campaign were ridiculously fast. You almost
I
always went
wasn't.
before the monsters.
Mhm.
What we get for not having someone just built entirely around dexterity anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
Sorry.
So yeah, first up is going to be Lyla. What would you like to do as suddenly this big old haggard seagull comes into view? Its wings spread. It has like a 40-foot wingspan. It is huge.
Okay. Well, let's say give me a second. I just want to see what order I want to do that in. Okay, that. And then yeah. Cool. So we're going to let's mind sliver it. Can I reach it 60 feet? Do I need to move?
Yeah,
Maybe?
it's maybe move just like up to the edge of the deck to kind of get it, but otherwise, yeah, you can.
Sure. Okay, cool. So we're gonna mind sliver. That's an intelligence 14.
All right. Old Scrappy is not that intelligent.
I sort of figured. So I was like, yeah, let's do that one
12.
first. Okay.
Old Scrappy
so
gets
that's
12.
Yeah, that's a fail. So it's gonna take. Okay, yeah, it is 2. 2d6 psychic. So there's
Ooh.
2.
I thought it was only D4.
Nope. So that's gonna be 8 psychic, and it's gonna be minus 1d4 from the next save, which is going to be for the Fairy Fireman of Flourish, the imbued card I stored last night.
Ooh.
And do. Oh wait, I think I have to go here to use that action. Yeah, there we go. Let me just see what it does. Where is it? There it is. Oh, Dex 14.
Dex 14. It
Yes.
is somewhat dexterous.
With a minus 1d4.
Well, that doesn't matter because he rolled a natural 1.
Yes. All right. So yeah, Fairy Fire.
Which gives people advantage on attacks against him.
And of course, let's say Lila's Fairy Fire is like a nice pink.
Oh, of course. It's a very
Because why
lovely,
not?
sparkly pink, maybe with a tiny bit of gold thrown in there.
Oh yeah, love it. Very Sailor Moon vibes. Very Glitter Squad.
Mhm. Unfortunately, however, it is now Old Scrappy's turn. And Old Scrappy is going to... Yes. He is going to give out another cry, this time aiming directly towards the ship. And all of you feel, well, you can't see it. You feel a dark wind blow over you. And I am going to need Lyla, Velantrios, and Shaw to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save it is. All right. 16?
Yep.
9.
Ooh, still.
Oh, there you go.
22.
All right, so Lyla and Velantrios, you pass. However, Shaw, you do not. You become
always me.
cursed as you
always me.
feel, you all feel a tightness in your chest, a popping sensation in your heart as you feel your heart almost twisted like a washcloth. Shaw, however, something sticks with you. You are going to be subtracting a D4 from any attack roll, ability check, or saving throw. However, you can do this again. You can make the saving throw at the end of your turns. I'm trying to see how long
Everyone
it
cover
lasts.
your ears. She shouted, not in time.
It's just a lifelong curse until I finally make my wisdom save.
It does kind of look that way,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
30 years.
However, Velantrios, as this hits you, even though you succeed, you still get that tightness in your chest, the popping sensation in your heart, and you go blind for a second.
What?
As you see below you, you're floating in the air, hundreds of feet in the air, in a blue sky. And down beneath you is an orange landscape, a desert of some kind, filled with ruins and mesas and plateaus, of which you see various explosions of blue flame, and you see hundreds upon hundreds of something battling. You hear war machines, you hear cries in infernal and abyssal, and floating in front of you, about 30 feet in front of you, is a woman dressed in black robes, a cloak over her shoulders of coins, a coin necklace, horns growing out of her head, black wings, and a tail, holding a whip in one hand, the tip of which has a blue flame on it as she reaches a hand out and says, "Come home." But you instantly shake out of it as old Scrappy finishes his dark cry. And we're going to... And yep, he's going to fly closer to the boat. And that is the end of old Scrappy's turn. And we then go to Chauncey, followed by Velantrios.
How close is old Scrappy now? Is he on the boat?
I'm going to say he's about 15 feet away from the boat.
Okay. So I feel like Chauncey's not dumb enough to try hitting a flying bird off a boat with a hammer. So he probably came up here with his gun out. So we're going to cast gun at old Scrappy.
Cast gun.
Bang,
He's
bang.
within 40 feet, so no disadvantage. So I get advantage from the fairy fire. Here we go.
Yay.
I might actually... Let me think for a second. I used one on aid. No, we're good. I won't do anything else for that for now. So yeah, first shot. How does... Oh, shit. The 19, not a 20. 19 plus my attack modifier is insane.
Oh no, that still hits.
Yeah, it's like a 27. 13 points of magical piercing damage.
Good lord. Oh, and you get a second shot, of course.
I do. Multi-attack.
Second casting
that
of
was a
gun.
nat 20!
Woo!
Boom.
So
Thanks,
how much
fairy
is that?
fire.
Automatically 6 points of damage plus...
If it's automatically the max damage die, it's 16 points of damage base.
Oh my god. Oh, because it's a D8.
It's 2d8 damage.
There you
2d8.
go.
So I'll just take the 16 off.
Plus 11 is 27, plus another 6 is 33 points of damage.
Good lord. That was quite the shot. You
Poor
practically
Scrappy.
blow a
Way to
hole
go,
through
gun.
the chest of Scrappy. Feathers go everywhere as he writhes in the air, shrieking horribly. However, is that the end of your turn?
I'm just gonna I've got button plus gun up, and I'm just gonna hit my shield while I walk away from everybody, being like, "Come here, big boy. I'm the one that hit you."
All right. And yeah, he is actually going to do that. He's going to dive directly at you using a legendary action, 2 legendary actions actually, and he is going to attack you. Probably doesn't hit because that is only 14.
14 does not hit.
Unfortunately. So yeah, he flies up to you. This huge bird flies up to you, somehow managing to make it onto the boat and attempts to bite you, but you put up Button and clonk, his beak goes around Button. And we move on to Velantrios with Jed on deck, followed by Shaw.
All right, I'm going to cast Bless. at
Awesome.
second level, so I'll be
Ooh.
able to cast it on 4 people. I'm gonna do it. Well, obviously, I'm gonna do it on Shaw, Chauncey, Jedidiah, and Lyla.
All right, so everybody except yourself gets blessed.
Oh, wait, what does that do now?
That adds a
Um,
D4.
It's
Yeah.
a D4
I
to
will
what now?
say to attacks, saving throws, and ability checks.
Oh, okay, you get one.
I'm like
Yeah.
blessed and baned at the same time.
Well, the thing
Yes,
is,
so they don't cancel each other
Yeah,
out,
I'm
but
just
they
like
do
roll a
help.
d4, roll a d4.
Right.
Cool.
Yep.
and how close am I to old Scruffy or whatever?
I would say you're probably maybe 15 feet away. If you wanted to just like run up and, or if you wanted to back up.
Um. Well, thing is, did I sustain any damage when it attacked Chauncey? Like,
No, it flew over you to get to Chauncey.
oh, okay. Yeah, I can't really do anything other than that. I'm good.
All right, so we move on to Jed with Shaw on deck.
Wonderful. Where's the big bird now? Is it right next to Chauncey?
It is right next to Chauncey. It tried to attack him.
Cool. I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers at 3rd level at it.
All right.
So it needs to make me a wisdom saving throw, DC 17.
Oh. It's not intelligent, but it is wise. Not that wise because it rolled a 2, so it got a 4.
Hell yeah. So he gonna take some damage, which is 5d6. Come on.
Holy
22.
shit.
Oh my god.
22
my God.
psychic damage. Just a
Jesus.
Poor Scrappy.
whisper at it in like celestial grossness. And
Violently whisper.
Holy
it
cow.
also now has to use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Yep.
Oh. All right.
Which
So
I
you
think should
see-
provoke an opportunity attack from Chauncey.
Does it? No, it
Uh,
doesn't because
forced
it's forced movement.
Forced movement.
Oh.
Forced movement doesn't
But it's
provoke
still, like,
opportunity
moving.
attacks. It is forced
Still, like,
movement.
under its own
So you
power
watch
moving.
as
Oh.
old Scrappy flies up 60 feet into the air above the ship. So he is now 60 feet directly up.
Well, I think what
Cool.
Colton's after is that Dissonant Whispers requires them to use their movement as their reaction. So it's one of the handful of things that should let you have opportunity attacks.
That was my thought process.
Because
I
it's
know the
not
answer to
a
that.
push.
It's not like a push. It's like it has
It's not
to
a
walk
shove.
away.
It's not a.
Yeah.
It has to perform that. Yeah, that sort of make. I can see both.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's the problem.
I
I
can
can
see both,
see
for real.
both. But I think just the
Well, you're
forced
the
movement
DM,
rule.
so.
I'm gonna go with forced movement doesn't. Any forced movement doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Sorry. So old
That's the way.
Scrappy flies up into the air, and it does not. Actually, never mind. I just looked. Yeah. He also has flyby, so that wouldn't have worked anyway.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
quicken a spell
Oh,
at him.
right.
No
Cool.
opportunity attacks. That makes sense. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
quicken a firebolt.
Awesome. Shoot him.
I get advantage.
Yes.
Fish like me.
I rolled so bad on both of them. Oh my god.
Oh no.
That's still a 13.
That does not hit as you send
Wait,
this firebolt up into the air,
You're
trailing.
blessed.
Oh yeah, you are blessed. Roll a d4.
Oh, I am blessed.
Yes, you are.
I don't know if it
Hell
matters.
yeah.
But you're blessed.
It
Okay,
might.
come on. Come on. Okay, plus 3, so 16.
That will hit. For a
There
moment,
it
you think
is.
it. For a moment, you think it misses, but as he
The
corkscrews through the air, the wing hits the firebolt, and he takes damage.
I rolled two
Oh.
ones. 2 damage.
Oh my god!
Well,
So
that
Your
fits
flaming
with
sphere.
nearly missing.
You should have,
That
yeah,
fits
you
with the barely missing.
should have just done Flaming Sphere at
He's
that
just
point.
pecking it.
Oh gosh.
That's my turn.
Love that.
All right.
Unless there's somewhere I can move that's like gives me cover somewhere.
Not really. It's a pretty open ship unless you want to like
It's
go
the ship
down
deck.
the steps
Yeah, like,
in under the ship's deck to like
Can I
below
just like
decks.
play the peekaboo game of like I just go right below the steps and then use my movement on the next turn to go back above the steps and then just keep doing that move?
Yeah, I would say the stairs would probably count as 15 feet of movement, so you could use 15 feet to
Fuck
go up,
yeah.
shoot, and then 15 feet to run back down.
We're
So, yeah.
cheesing
what
it,
is
baby.
it that all the men in this pod run and hide around?
Chauncey just looks offended while he stands in the middle with a
Stands with a shield and a gun.
hammering a button-shaped shield with a gun.
Sorry.
And Blanche
I'm
is just
sorry.
like bare in the open with no shield.
Yes. All right, so that means Shaw, it's your turn, and then we're back up to the top with
God.
Lyla.
Finally, my turn. I'm
Show
going.
us your display of courage.
Mind Spike, 3rd level Wisdom save.
Jesus Christ. Wisdom. Oh my god, I'm rolling like shit. It got a 9.
Okay, cool. It takes full damage, which is that's good. 20
that's-
psychic
yeah, that's-
damage.
That'll do.
Jesus.
And I don't know if it matters, but I know where he's at for the next hour. Who
Cool.
knows? And I will also try to find something to hide behind, like the mast or something. I don't know.
The stairs are working great.
You can run down the stairs. I will say that the mast probably doesn't give you much cover because Old Scrappy can fly and just fly around
That's fair.
and then dive bomb you.
No, I'm not
but-
going to the stairs. Jed's over there. I'm good.
All right.
Come here, Shaw.
Yeah. Me and Jed are gonna have a bonding experience at some point because.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think
am
we're bonding
sure.
just fine.
Have you guys ever seen that Christina Ricci movie, Penelope? She's the. Is this a deep dive? Nobody?
I never heard of
No.
it.
I know Penelope.
It's a cute movie where she is born with a pig nose, and it's a rom-com thing, family movie.
Okay.
And
Oh,
one guy tries.
okay,
She's really
yeah.
rich too, and a guy tries dating her, but whenever she shows him what her face really looks like, every time he sees her in the future, she's just a snarling, horrible monster in special effects makeup. Even though it's just Christina Ricci with a little pig nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
All right,
right.
then.
Yes, I do remember that.
Does this sound like a movie parody? Like
Hidden Gems.
It's not!
Oh my goodness. All right, so we are back up to the top with Lyla. What would Lyla
Okay,
like to do?
So I think Lyla is gonna. I don't think I've actually done this in combat before, but I think we're gonna do a. Oh, actually, never mind. No, let's not do that. I thought it was a different save. Let's go. Nope.
Bless you.
Sorry.
Oh, Shaw, you can make a saving throw. The wisdom saving throw.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, go ahead while I figure out what the hell
Natural
I'm
one.
doing.
Oh no.
The
Fabulous.
curse continues.
What's sad is like I'm proficient in wisdom saving throws. It's like
Oh
the
my
wisdom-
goodness. The cry of old Scrappy still resonates in your bones.
Yeah, I think we're actually gonna mind sliver it again. Let's go
All
for
right.
that.
He's gonna roll like
yeah.
shit, probably. As per you. 9.
Hey, not again.
Yeah, so that's a failure. All right. So that's
He's
another
not doing so
2d6
hot.
psychic. That's 9 psychic damage and minus 1d4 from the next save, which is gonna be somebody else. It's not gonna be me. I'm gonna give a bardic inspiration to Chauncey and call that good.
All right. So
I have a question. The cursed minus 1d4, that's probably towards the save too, right?
oh yeah, it would be, which is unfortunate. Because it doesn't have any stipulations on it not being against the saving
Yeah,
throw.
okay.
So yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So yeah, since he is 60 feet away, he is going to give yet another one of those dark cries. And he's going to target Chauncey, Lyla, and Chauncey, Lyla, and I think nope, he can't see Jed. He's gonna try Velantrios again. However, Lyla and Velantrios, since you saved, you do not need to make the saving throw again. He's not that intelligent. So Chauncey.
Ooh, thank you, bless. I rolled a 4 on the bless die because Chauncey has negative.
So what's your total wisdom?
Let me see. So -2 off is a dirty 20. I rolled an 18 on the
Alright.
d20. And then
So
a
once
4.
again, you feel the tightness. So you, for the first time, feel that tightness in your chest, the popping sensation, the twisting of your heart as if it's a washcloth, and you manage to shake it off. There is no ill effect. And old Scrappy is gonna stay up in the air. And that's the end of his turn. So now we are to Chauncey.
He's 60 feet away now, huh?
Yes, 60 feet in the air.
If I moved up the mast, could I get within 40 feet of him?
I would say yes, but oh, never mind. You have spider climb.
Yeah, I'm a
So you can
drag.
just walk up the mast.
Yeah, so
Nice.
Chauncey's gonna like fucking run up the mast like he's a Matrix character. It makes sense physics.
Yeah, and the mast is probably what, 40 feet tall?
Yeah, I'm
for a
gonna run
ship like
20
this?
feet. I'm gonna run 20 feet up it, and I'm going to shoot at him, and I'm gonna use my bonus action this time to cast Branding Smite.
Ooh.
So the next time I hit him with a weapon attack, it'll deal even more damage. Let me see what we got here. It'll deal an extra 2d6 radiant damage the next time I hit him.
Oh my goodness.
Did you use that bardic inspiration yet?
I did not, and I might use it on this first
say
swing. How much is your bardic inspiration?
It's a 6. You can use it on the branding smite too, as damage if it hits.
Let me see here. I think I'm gonna need to. I think I'd rather use it on this attack roll because even with advantage, my higher is a 3. So I'm gonna use the bless and the bless adds 3, so that's 6. And how much is your bardic inspiration?
That's a d6.
Hey, that's a 6 there. So that's 12 plus 9 is a 21 to hit.
Whoa,
so that hits.
Made it.
It hits because of stacking everyone else's buffs.
Yeah.
Buff stacking to the rescue.
That's the way we do.
Chauncey adds +9 to any attack roll he makes with a magic weapon. So
Jesus
needed
Christ.
Battlesmith. Battlesmith.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
All right.
Love that for him.
Okay, that's 2d8 plus 2d6. Okay. Do I need to divide the damage at all? Is he resistant to piercing or radiant for some reason?
No.
Okay. 20 points of damage on that shot.
Good Lord. Yeah, old Scrappy doesn't look too good.
Next shot is only a 28 to hit.
Only a 28. Yes, it hits.
And that one
What
doesn't
did you
have
think I
the
was going to
smite.
go? No,
Oh.
he has super shield.
Legendary
He has this-
action.
I didn't roll very good on the damage on this one. It's only 11 points of damage.
11 points. Oof.
Legendary action wall of seagulls.
Yep. And I'm assuming this is the end of your turn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use the last 10 of my movement speed to go back down the mast.
Well, he's going to use dive attack against you. So he's going to get to make a gore attack on you.
Oh no.
Ow.
How have I rolled a 7 3 times in a row? So that doesn't hit. As you're sliding down, you see old Scrappy fly directly at you, and you throw up your button shield to just smack him directly in the face as he sits there flapping angrily at you. And we now move on to Velantrios.
It sounds like he might need some glasses.
Apparently so.
I mean, 3 sevens is usually a good thing, so.
So remember what I talked about, like us. What the?
What was that? That was loud.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
So remember what I was talking about, barbecue?
Uh-huh. Are you gonna
I'm gonna-
flame him?
No, I'm gonna scorching ray him with using my
Ooh.
circlet.
Awesome. Make those attack rolls.
So let's see. I have like two things. One is the hit DC and the other is the effect.
You're rolling to attack.
Okay. That is gonna be a 17.
That hits.
Yay.
I'm gonna say you probably should just roll damage on this one. Not giving anything away, but you probably should just roll the damage.
All right. Damage is dirty 20.
Wait, how did you get? Isn't it only like what 2d8 array? So you only
It's
get
4
16.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at guiding bolt.
No.
All right. The damage is. There we go. 7.
That is enough. You hit him in the side of the head, and he collapses. Unfortunately, onto the deck. Quite a few things get broken. Banisters, stairs. Jed, you get a face full of pinion feathers that just go down the steps directly into your face, possibly knocking you prone. There is now a giant 12-foot tall seagull laying on the deck of the ship, having just been struck in the face with a scorching ray as the other two go sailing off into the ocean somewhere. One splashes on a rock, one just heads on down until eventually it just goes out on its own.
There's like
And
a
you are
spark.
no longer in combat with old Scrappy. Leonidas Leonidas takes one of his subordinates to keep moving the wheel. Well, sadly, I don't think we can get much meat off of this that we would it's too much to store. We may just have to shove them off the side of the ship.
Chauncey's just pulling feathers out at this point.
Oh yeah, these feathers are
Oh.
like 5 feet long. Some of these feathers are 5 feet long with like a maybe like foot long where the feather actually goes into or comes out of.
What is the DC save for this curse?
It is a 14 DC wisdom save.
Okay, cool. I just saved.
Okay. So yeah, you
There we
feel the dark wind finally leave your body after the death of old Scrappy.
So you're
Cursed
telling
the
me
entire time.
this thing ate a boat? It kind of sucked, right?
Uh,
I can't be the only
yeah.
person thinking that.
It
You
was a bit
watch as several
underwhelming.
crew members come up from the bottom of the boat with harpoon guns, and they just,
Where were you guys?
we were preparing the
Right?
harpoon guns.
Well, how if you keep preparing, you're never gonna actually do the thing.
In their defense, they are sailors and we are whatever we are.
Sailors?
That
Is
is
anybody
a...
hurt? Did
I'm just
anybody?
gonna start telekinetically shoving it off the ship.
Just like, wait,
my
I'm
God.
trying to.
My goodness. If you want, you can, Chauncey, you can roll me a D100 to see how many feathers you manage to rip out of old Scrappy before Shawthorn shoves him off the boat.
You don't know what these could be good for.
I can only move it. You can only move 5 feet every 6 seconds. So
It's gonna be a hot minute before this thing gets off the boat.
So on the percentile, I got 30 and then a 0. So is that 30 feathers?
Yeah, that is a 30. You get 30 feathers. You
Can I
managed
help?
to rip 30 feathers out.
I'd like to help him.
If Velantrios is helping, can I roll again and see if I get
Roll a D10 and add that to...
D10? Which one? Oh, yeah, duh, D10. Oh, we get 9 more. We have 39 feathers.
So yeah, you pull 39 feathers out of this corpse before finally the corpse slides unceremoniously
I'm
off
actually,
the
as I'm
edge.
pushing it, just leaving like a trail of just like.
Oh yeah, it is
trails
leaving
and-
a trail of blood. That section of the ship, there's like a 10-foot wide, 15-foot long streak of blood that you've just been
I'm
smearing
just like
across
following
the boat.
behind, repeatedly casting prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Lyla and I are the cleanup crew behind it.
The blood seems to magically seep out of the wood, vanishing to somewhere. And yeah, it's a clean boat with about a third of the railing on the starboard side of the boat completely and utterly crushed, as are the stairs on one side. On the
Chauncey,
starboard
you can
side.
take care of that part.
This looks like a Chauncey problem. Just don't.
Did anybody
do...
get hurt?
don't do
Is
the
everyone
wagon
okay?
again.
I have a question.
All
Can I
good?
cast Entangle and like merge the two parts together that way?
No, that is not how that works.
Damn it.
There is a
Sorry.
cantrip for that, though. It's called Mend. Chauncey's just gonna hammer the stairs and cast Mending.
I grew
Yeah,
up to
you
Lyla.
watch
Lyla.
it slowly, minute by minute. I'm probably gonna say what, because it covers a what, 5-foot cube?
I
don't even
think
think it's
I
that
think
much, is
Mending's
it?
even smaller than that.
Yeah,
Like
it's
a 1-foot cube?
Yeah,
It's gonna
because
be
it's like
this.
it's
It's
like
gonna
a
be a
bit.
beat
It's
for
gonna
every
be a
6
bit.
seconds. So
It's probably just
Like-
faster if he just manually repairs it with woodworking tools, and then
Yeah.
occasionally casts Mending.
Isn't this basically just like what's that game called?
I don't
The
know.
one everything's a block.
Oh, Minecraft?
Minecraft. Oh.
Can I make a
to
tool
Lyla.
check to repair it?
Yes. Yes,
Sorry.
you may.
I look at Lyla and I'm like, the bird sucked, right?
That was underwhelming. She's like clutching
Like
her
it has
breast,
like
just
sea
making
shanties
sure
written
she's still
about
fine.
Oh.
It's like Shaw's up here still traumatized from being cursed.
None that was.
First time being cursed there, Shaw.
First time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. It wasn't very memorable. I don't know who's singing much about it.
Maybe they'll sing about us now.
Most memorable thing it left behind was stains.
So
okay, that actually made me laugh. Wow.
That was really good.
That was pretty good. That was a good one. That was a good one.
What did you get on the check?
So, fun fact, 6th level artificers get something called tool expertise, which means if you make a check with a tool you have proficiency and you double your proficiency. That is 28 on a woodworking kit check.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Artificer broken.
So I think they kind of are a little bit.
It's Artificer plus having a multi-purpose tool, so you're proficient with every tool in the game.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
is the broken part.
Yes. So it takes about maybe, I would say, an hour with glue and brushes, nails, wooden dowels, little wooden pieces, hammers, various things that you transform your multi-tool into. About 3 hours of work. There is a brand spanking new set of stairs that look like probably as good as the day they were built. The railings, same thing. It's almost hilarious watching, just looking at the railing, brand new, 12 years old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to like fuck with
Completely
Chauncey,
different color.
I'm gonna walk up. Oh, Chauncey, you made it look too good, and I'm gonna cast minor illusion, but like try to make it look like I'm actually like fire blasting it.
I mean, I feel
Assholes.
it's how do we see through a minor illusion? Is there
I
a way
think
to
it's
see
a
through it?
isn't it like an I know Disguise Self has an
Investigation?
investigation check to check
I think
whether or
it's
not it's real.
investigation, yeah.
Yeah, successful investigation check against my spell
But I would
save.
say if you're the minor illusion is just fire blasting, the moment the fire stops, it would be very easy to see that the fire did not do anything
I'm
to the
just trying to
railing.
get a
Right.
reaction out of him.
Yeah, just like
I'm just wondering. I mean, like,
he's just jabbing you.
what, Jed? What the?
Oh, oh. I'm just kidding. It looks great, Chauncey.
Trying to knock over your Legos.
Just going up to the Legos.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a lot better than that fix I tried on the cart, right?
Oh yeah, way better.
Just
I have
broke
been
the
feeling
axle.
a bit more confident in my crafting lately.
Shit.
Much more efficient on this one, Chauncey. Much more.
That reminds me. Oh, Chauncey's just chopping the feathers into smaller pieces so he can shove them in his bag.
Imagine how many
The feathers
quills
are. Doesn't your bag have like a 30-foot cubic
Oh,
space
you're right.
in it?
Okay, instead Chauncey's just grabbing these giant ass 5-foot tall feathers and delicately shoving them in this open bag at his side.
Inserting them.
It's just like Mary Poppins' bag just swallows it entirely, just into the bag. The
You never know
39
what these could
feathers.
be used for. I could stuff so many pillows. I mean, I'd have to probably cut them up and shred them a little first, but so many pillows, so many blankets.
I will say these are very coarse. They're not
That's
soft
insane.
feathers. They're
They've got like
old
smell
bastard
horrible
seagull
too.
feathers.
Yeah.
Half
I
of them
can-
are stained with blood. Half of them are mottled brown with blood stains.
Chauncey's just like, I can clean them.
I can shampoo them. Shampooing a giant feather.
Condition is more like it. Soften them up.
But yes, you managed to get all 39 feathers into your bag of holding without having to chop them up.
I don't normally care for parties, but this one wasn't so bad.
Yeah, so after that,
Fabulous.
the evening is yours to do with as you please. At some point, Toshiko does come up to you and says, tomorrow we should reach Creator's Hollow around 11 o'clock. And then
AM
we
or
will...
PM?
AM.
So Lyla is probably like she's gonna be sitting like playing with her flute, like working on a song. Old Scrappy, he turned out to
I love
be
how you're playing a flute
crappy.
like a ukulele.
Oh wait, yes, sorry, I said a flute, and I don't know why. like
mean flute?
Playing a flute
Yeah,
like
yeah, he
a
pulled a-
ukulele. Just sitting there like,
flute
No,
her.
why
she's
isn't
just
this
talented
working?
enough to sing and play a flute at the same time.
Sorry. Her lute.
I forgot you had a lute. I heard flute, and I'm just like, I love how
Yeah.
you're doing that. Works so well.
No, I definitely did say flute.
Yeah.
I definitely did.
Yeah.
But yeah, like just a nice little ditty about how terribly underwhelming that bird was.
Yeah. He wasn't that great.
No,
Yeah, they were all sailors, and you
he
all
swooshed him.
have spells. If it was just these people up against old Scrappy, they would have all died.
Yeah, no,
They would
that's
have
true.
all been dead.
Yeah.
They would have
Maybe
all been
just
cursed
learn
or
a
dead.
cantrip.
We were still gathering the harpoons.
Firebolt takes like a day to learn.
And we sail on, I guess.
Chauncey's just tinkering in the corner, and then you hear a small gasp as he uses his other new infusion from hitting level 6.
Yay!
Wait, we hit level 6?
Yes.
When did we do that?
Hit level 6!
A while
last
ago.
session,
Every
Last
time.
session.
Yofi.
Every time, all of your characters are briefly one level behind every level up.
Wait a minute. We're level. Oops. I'll
One of
take level
those today
6.
is leveling, buddy.
I'm going to use another infusion to make a homunculus servant.
Oh god, I hate it.
Oh my god.
I hate it so
That's
much.
and
Why?
there's just like it takes 100 gold worth of gems or something, so I'll leave 100 gold back at Hortensia's workshop and a stolen gem offer.
Probably like a
and-
handful of emeralds.
Yeah.
Like a little IOU note.
But Chauncey's going to make a homunculus servant using that as its core, and the rest of it in the description it says it comes up and like spontaneously mutates around it out of nothingness, but he's got like bits of those robotic owls we found from session 1.
Oh yes, the robotic birds that you found, the like
And-
10,000 pieces.
in the sea
Yeah.
glass and stuff, so he's gonna like physically make more of it than the typical artificer. But when he's done, there's just this little like cat-sized clockwork sphinx that's kind of just sitting there with
Okay.
an open rib cage and like a crystal glowing in it. And she's got like a little replica of Lovey May's doll face, and
Oh, okay. All right.
in like
I
her,
hate that.
her wings are
I
made
can fuck with it.
of sea glass that he's shaped into little feather shapes.
Ooh,
Okay. All right.
pretty.
I see this. Yeah. Yeah. She's cute. What's her name?
Everybody meet my new friend. Her name's Taily Poe.
Haley Bow.
Haley
Poe.
Poe.
Oh.
Haley Poe and Lovey May.
Taily Poe and Lovey May.
They're adorable. They really are.
Sorry, I gotta step away for a minute.
What's Lovey May doing?
We're about to go on
Like,
break anyway,
How
it's
does she
fine.
react to the?
I mean, she's probably just like a little curious, and then suddenly there's like the same sort of spark when he made her, I guess, and she's like, "This is what my birth was like."
I
If
have
she was
witnessed
capable
birth.
of complex thoughts.
Yeah.
I was about to say, she probably doesn't care. She's just a doll that does exactly what you tell her to do.
Well, I mean,
Mm.
I think it's let me see, Steel Defenders. What do they have?
Are they like smart?
They have their own
Yeah.
Or
stat
something?
block, so they have intelligence.
What is their intelligence?
I want to say it's like 8 or 9.
Oh.
So not that.
No,
good.
sorry. Steel Defenders only have a 4 to intelligence.
Yeah, no,
Jesus.
that's like nothing.
So
They have
they're-
the intelligence of like an
actually-
average animal.
They're functionally retarded. Like
And she has 6 charisma. She's not very charismatic.
We have to
Jesus
cut that
Christ.
part out.
well, she's a robot. It's not offensive.
Anyway,
Does it
Oh,
fly?
God.
Does your Sphinx fly?
The Sphinx will have a fly speed because homunculus servants do have a fly speed, and she does have 10 intelligence. She has the intelligence of an average humanoid. This is fine.
Oh,
So
so the
funny.
humanoid has animal intelligence and the cat has average human intelligence.
Yes, this is fine. They're
Paul
sisters.
will cautiously approach said Sphinx.
Said tiny Sphinx.
I
So
guess she's probably like, I mean, she doesn't even have a cat face to do a sniff. Her face is like a weird little metallic or ceramic doll face.
Like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say the face was probably the one thing that was made out of magic, and it did take a porcelain form. I'll let it do that.
Just like a almost weird felinid, I don't know, feline cat head tilt, and I don't know. I mean, does it make noise? How do you what does homunculi do?
If you programmed it to make noise, I guess, because it can understand you, but it can't speak any languages.
Yeah.
Like every single time a homunculus comes up in like other like material, their characters, they always write on chalkboards.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
Right.
this one is just gonna her noises sound like little bits of wind chimes whenever she makes strange noises. So that's what she kind of does, and she's just gonna do the cat circle thing.
Oh yeah, the two of them circle each other on the floor, trying to
Chauncey
figure each other out.
definitely he spent that part of yesterday just studying how Tressum works to figure out the way to get this to function.
Nice.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
love
Let's
it.
explain that weird cat inspection.
The weird surprise cat inspection.
One doesn't build something without trying to understand it first.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, this is Haley Poe. She's a new friend. I was struck with inspiration. I had to get it out somehow.
So I'm assuming, do homunculi get an attack? Because I know only warlocks familiars can get attacks.
So
from
homunculi do get
familiars.
attacks that would take my bonus action to use.
Oh, so you'd have to choose between Talipo and Lovey May.
Yeah. But
Okay.
Talipo's is long range. Lovey May's isn't. So Lovey May couldn't do anything versus the bird because she can't fly or anything.
Right.
I have a bonus action that I can hit at range.
Awesome. All right. So unless there's anything anyone else would like to do, nighttime comes and you all can bed down for a long rest. Some of you have pleasant dreams. Others have new nightmares, of which
And
you
Shaw
contend
is
with for years to
suspiciously
come.
missing.
Jedidiah just smiles as he pulls up the covers.
Yep. And you all have a successful, if not restful, successful long rest. And that is where we're going to end this week's episode. So join us next week as we make it to Creators Hollow and figure out what's going to go down there. So I will see you all next week, and I will see the rest of you all in about 5 minutes.